Okay, we are live.
Yay!
Yay!
Monday morning, everyone. You guys are tuning into Author Talk, and you guys know me, Amy, here with Sandy and Russell, and our guest today is Clio. So everyone say hi.
Good morning,
Hello.
Facebook world. It's
Good morning.
Monday. It's
Good morning.
Woohoo! Monday. Yay.
Well, you weren't like that 5 minutes ago, Sandy.
I'm working on it, okay? I'm practicing.
Sandy's having a case of the Monday.
But I worked all weekend. So I am excited about
Me too. I worked all weekend too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was research.
I want to be working where you were working, Russell. Where were
I
you working?
was in Vegas. I was doing character research. I was exploring.
I saw that.
That was at Spago's Friday night. It was pretty awesome.
I saw that Marilyn was there. Where's the Marilyn picture?
Oh yeah, and we're right in the 2-year anniversary, so all those Maryland pictures are coming up, and so I actually did share some of those. There's one from Friday night entitled on Instagram and hashtag Instagram, which everyone should be using if you're into books. Hashtag Instagram and
Bookstagram. Bookstagram.
Yeah, Bookstagram. I'm not having.
I thought you were telling us something new that we should all use Instagram.
No. I was gonna fix it later. It's all good.
Okay.
Were you going to run a little thing across the bottom of the screen? He's saying Instagram, but he means Bookstagram.
I was gonna put it in the comment. Instagram equals Bookstagrammer.
Okay, so did Russell have a good time in Vegas or what?
I did. We're going to talk during the social media thing coming up here. Scientific research tests that I did.
Ooh.
Oh boy, I love those scientific research tests that Russell does. Can't wait to hear this one.
What'd you guys do this weekend? Sandy worked.
I worked and I am so excited. So all of my coaches out there that I have been putting off the membership, Amy, and when you look, I have just about I've got all the content on there, and I've run into some questions, of course. So yay, but I just kept having these ideas, and so this membership is not just about me. It's Amy and I are doing this because she's doing the technology, I'm doing the content. She does. I create the pictures. She makes them look good.
Yeah, she fixes it.
Yes, she does. She does. So, like, Amy has to have her name on this, and I was trying to. So you know, this is not my strength coming up with new names. That's Amy's. And so she's the one that came up with Through the Eyes of Authors, all the other names. So I'm like, what could we call ourselves? Because when we did some of the courses, it was like, I'm the traditional person. She's the new age, not new age necessarily, but the newer, younger, trendier.
Yeah, new age is old age.
I know. And then, so I'm like, what would I call myself? And I'm like, I'm a matriarch. My family calls me the matriarch. So I'm like, I'm the matriarch. Amy is the millennial. So
I liked your original idea.
Which one was that?
Not just Sandy.
I know.
That is
That's true. We did love that. So anyway, so that was my weekend. Amy, yours.
I didn't do anything. I took the weekend off, and
She cut all her hair off or something.
No, she doesn't. I love your new hair look. That's so cool.
Thanks. That's what I did this weekend. Is I went and got one of those like button things, so I can play with my hair because my hair is so long. So I just wanted to play with it. But no, me and Joshua just relaxed and watched TV and movies, and then we did go to our small group was having like a grill out, and so we went there yesterday. But we just kind of relaxed and took the weekend off, spent time together, which was nice.
Yay, Clio, what did you do this weekend besides working?
That's That's it. That's literally all I did.
Clio works, and so what do you do, Clio? Tell me. You told me last night, and I was very impressed. So
I work in home health. So I work for a series of group homes for disabled adults. So I work with that population and different mental disabilities, physical disabilities, every weekend. So
Wow, that's some of the hardest work you can do, Cleo. I'm really impressed.
thank you.
So before we start the next round of stuff, it's time to say hello because we have a bunch of people that
Oh, good.
jumped
Oh,
on.
awesome.
So for Fernando Brady, are you like watching us from France? Because I thought you were in France. So yay. Nikki Taplin, Nikki, I forgot the name of your company. It's something Biz Solutions. So welcome. Valerie, welcome. The minute I pushed go live, Red said howdy. So Red,
I like Red's engagement pictures. He's been posting engagement pictures from 50 years ago. They're beautiful.
I know. He just celebrated his 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
He used to be a good-looking man.
That's funny. That is so funny. Okay, so now what? Where do we want to go now, Russell?
I need to talk about my scientific efforts this weekend.
Yes, he does.
Okay. This is based upon some of Amy's preaching over the last few weeks, mainly about Instagram. I was out at the pool on Saturday, and I thought, I was doing character research, of course.
Of course.
And I thought, well, I want to try something. So I did a 7-second video of basically what the picture I just showed. I placed it on Twitter and I placed it on Instagram using the hashtag Bookstagram. So let me get that out since I can do it straight right. And then I had a couple of drinks because I thought that was a really good way to schedule the timing of the scientific research. Right. And I found within 2 drinks, sitting by the pool, that Twitter had 12 views of the video and Instagram had 57. That quick.
Nice.
And that just shows how effective if you use, and I was trying to think of, you can't think of 30. Amy says you should use 30 hashtags. I'm with Sandy. I can't think of 30.
I know.
I think I got 10 or 15 for that.
You can use the same ones every time.
I know, but I can't think of 30 the first time.
Anyway, Instagram is like 5 times more effective than Twitter. Everybody should be using it. Cleo, do you use Instagram to promote your book?
Yeah.
Of course she uses Instagram.
Yes.
How do you use it, Cleo?
I also do modeling for my book. So I do author pictures for it to promote my book. And I just updated the paperback covers. So I'm using that for another promotion coming up. And then I'm also promoting poetry that I'm using in my new book, Screams of Dead Flowers, on Instagram.
Wow. Sandy, when you start asking her a bunch of questions, you need to find out about her marketing plan because it sounds like that she's got a clue.
Well, I can tell you that. So the way I met Cleo definitely agrees with that. Because she reached out to Elizabeth at Writespace. And how did you reach out to her, Cleo?
Hello, Elizabeth.
Writespace, Instagram. There you go. Instagram.
Okay.
It's everything in my life.
You've been telling us, Amy.
No one listens to me.
You do listen.
That's why you redid your do. You're hoping to
and remember, I'm the matriarch. I'm just kind of like, I love Twitter. I'm sorry. I love Twitter. So what I first heard, I heard from Elizabeth, who said, can I send you the name of someone who's looking for some help with her book? And I said, of course. And she sent me Clio's name, and I sent her an email, and then we talked on the phone. And this is how gung ho she is. That was on a Friday. We had the Houston Writers Guild social that night. She said, "What else can I do to, get involved, get to know authors?" I'm like, "We have a social tonight if you want to come." And she was there. So
right, and her book won cover of the month.
And her book won cover of the month. So yes. So Clio, you are energetic. You are a millennial. You are all the things you need to be marketing your book, and that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
There's her book cover there. So
which was cover of the month for the Houston Writers Guild.
And we're going to talk in a few minutes about what she does, because she's more than the author. She's also a spoken word artist.
So she's the full package.
Yeah, she's the full package. I like that.
Go ahead and ask now. What is a spoken word artist?
Clio,
what is that, Clio?
You're up.
A spoken word artist is a poet that is performing or reciting their work on stage or open mic. Spoken word artists typically go to cafes or what they call poetry lounges. Example of a couple are Right About Now at Avant Garden that I just performed at last Wednesday. It was filmed, so there'll be a film of my spoken word performance coming up shortly, you guys. And then
that's fantastic.
Thank you. And Blue Giraffe Cafe, I intend to perform there this coming Wednesday as well. And it basically, you can read from your phone or your notebook, or just by free hand, you can do it. So,
I happened to be at a conference once in Dallas when the speaker came up, and he's a young guy. He came up and he just started. And he did his entire presentation in spoken word, which was absolutely moving. I mean, it was like just listening to it was awesome. So I asked Clio if she'd be ready to do just a brief thing of spoken word.
That's awesome, Sandy.
Yay!
That's awesome.
Are you ready now, Clio?
Hold on just a second.
You have to have music or something?
Yeah, I have to get one of my poems that I...
Oh, okay. Do you want us to come back to you in a minute, or you got it?
Oh, yeah, come back to me in a minute.
Okay, so be ready, and let us know when you're ready.
While she's doing that, do we have any more viewers?
Amy?
Yes, that is an Amy question, for sure, that I need.
Were you zoning out? Have you been taking too much antihistamine today?
No, I was looking up poetry lounges in Houston because I thought Josh would want to go, and then you guys called on me.
Okay. There's a bar. There's a huge outdoor park right next to downtown. It's a beer place where they do those. What?
I said right. I was agreeing.
Yeah, they do those every week. I've gone with my adult sons a few times, and one of my really good friends even performed one night.
And what did your friend do?
He read part of one of his short stories.
Okay.
Wow, I was harassing him.
While you harassed him? Oh, God.
Well, I was having to hold his beer. He had to pay for that.
We have, let's see, my mother's on, Vola's on, Narcy, Nikki Taplin is on. I think I pronounced her name right. I totally could have butchered it, and I'm so sorry.
And I think she just goes by Nikki, so I know Nikki.
I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. That's who's on recently right now.
And also, I see that Carolyn Gray joined. Hi, Carolyn. Carolyn is just a beautiful friend of mine that I have not seen in forever, Carolyn. So I used to see her every week, and I haven't seen her in a couple of years. So looking forward to seeing her. And then I did see that Gina Henry joined. And Gina, You guys, I met Gina when I was when Anna was in the hospital and my daughter-in-law and all of that was going on. She was in there at the same time with a relative. So her uncle, as a matter of fact, her uncle was a policeman who was on a golf cart. They hit a bump, he fell off and hit his head. And so he's, had lots of surgeries and stuff afterwards. And so, Gina, thank you so much for joining. I love you and your mom. You guys are awesome. And they're having a big fundraiser for him later this month. So I want to talk about that at another time. So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
This poem's called Black Girl Magic. There is black girl magic at play when you hold her. Color doesn't make this so, but the culture that is lost lives within us. The carriers of this world, the originals, the ageless and the bronze highlights of life. We are temperamental because we are out of place, not ghetto. We are sassy because we were once queens, not divas. We are disapproved because we feel unresolved and stuck to the side like a piece of gum under a school desk. Our language has been lost, yet we still hold on to being African American. Even the native land doesn't accept us, so how should we see? I've studied every fulcrum of the earth, but I have envisioned a life of uncursed generations before me. For my daughters shouldn't have to be ashamed of the brown sugar essence of life.
Wow. And you wrote that?
Yes.
Yay.
I write all of my material. Thank you.
That was really good.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved that. Oh my gosh.
I wish that I could read and pronounce like that.
I know.
Maybe you should practice, Russell.
I don't have the gene. I have the redneck gene, and I need to have someone get a knife and cut it out of me.
Actually, Clio, you do have a beautiful voice.
You do.
So
thank you so much.
And I'm with Russell, honey. I would not go hear me speak. I can promise you.
Or me either.
So, because every now and then I listen to the AuthorTalks, and I'm like,
it's awful sometimes to hear your mistakes, isn't it?
I'm like, I should not be using this voice in public.
Oh, no, it sounds good. You sounded really good on the radio.
I thought she did too.
Yeah,
Sandy rocked on the radio.
You were on the radio?
She talks, but she talks with her hands so much she keeps slapping this mic.
It was very entertaining.
I started counting it after a while because she would slap the mic so many times with her hands.
That was when we were on Amy. So Amy has a radio show every Friday morning at 9:00, and it's called Take Two with Jamie and Amy.
How do they find
their
it,
names,
Amy?
Ryan? Isn't that cute? I love that commercial that they do. So,
Amy, how do people find it?
They can go to vinyldraftradio.com if they want to listen live. Or I post the replays, the Google replays, or YouTube replays. I post them everywhere. So just follow me or Take Two or Sandy or Russell because I tag them in.
And I always share them.
I like that.
Yay.
It works. I like it. It's networking, okay?
So I told Clio that I wanted to talk a little bit about, because I found out she mentioned when we were at that Writers Guild social that she had just had surgery a couple months ago, brain surgery a couple months ago. So I didn't ask her then anything about it. But when we talked last night, late last night when she got off work, I asked her if it was okay to talk about it. And she said yes, because she is an advocate for, and what is it again? Tell us
the name. It's called the Hydrocephalus Association. Hydrocephalus is where there's extra cerebral spinal fluid that cannot drain on its own, and it gets trapped. So it needs a shunt system, which is a catheter installed to drain the fluid from the cerebral spine to another place in the body. For example, mine is connected to my abdomen. What it does is it drains the extra fluid to my abdomen. Hydrocephalus cannot be cured. It cannot go away. It is a very common brain condition, as common as Down syndrome, but not many people know about it because they don't have an image of what it looks like. So I'm currently advocating and starting a model campaign for the walk this October called #ShowYourScars. And I'm going to be showing my scars from the surgery for this campaign so that it'll help spread awareness. Yeah.
And the way I found out there was, something to it is she got dizzy the other night a few days ago and had to go to the hospital, and all these people were commenting, and all of them were saying, yes, I had the same thing. Yes, this happened to me. And I'm like, okay, she's found her community of people who have something similar. So, and since I'm very present to community these days, since we're working on our author community. So Clio, congratulations and thank you for what you're doing to bring awareness to this. And I asked Clio, so I thought she just had surgery, but she also had the same shunt put in when she was a tiny baby. So talk about that for a minute.
My last shunt I had in for 23 years. I'm 23 now. And what had happened was it failed, meaning it stopped draining the hydrocephalus. It stopped draining the fluid, and I didn't even know. So over the course of about 6 months, I kept having these symptoms like headaches, head pressure. So I ended up having to see a neurosurgeon, and they told me that there was too much fluid on my spine. And so I was like, what does that mean? They said I'd have to have another revision. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to work until I go to my next appointment. But I almost didn't make it because like my vision got really blurry. And so I was rushed to the hospital to get emergency surgery that night because I had almost went blind from the amount of fluid on my brain. So I had the surgery April 3rd.
Wow.
For 2 weeks, I had to learn physical therapy. I was in the hospital for 4 days. And then I tried to go back to work 2 weeks after the surgery, which was crazy. And then my job was like, no, go home. You're crazy. Why are you back here?
Because you work. That's why, right?
Yeah, because I work. So I kept having issues with my new shunt. It's a programmable shunt. Meaning that it could be programmed to a certain setting of draining or over draining. It's a lot with this process, but I'm okay now for the most part. That's the good thing. I'm seeing my neurosurgeon this coming Wednesday as well to make sure that there isn't any more hiccups with this new
And
form.
you had the first shunt put in when you were just a few hours old, right?
Not a few hours, but I know I was a few months old.
Oh, months. Okay.
Yeah. And I had it in for very long time, and I didn't know that it had failed.
So you have a walk coming up in October?
October 20th, I'm going to be at the walk. Anyone is welcome.
What is the walk?
It's for finding a cure for hydrocephalus by spreading awareness. So it's me, a bunch of other people with hydro or hydro moms or hydro warriors. That's #hydro warriors. We go out there in downtown Houston and we walk to spread awareness for it. And that's our brand right now. And then there's also another campaign called No More BS, meaning no more brain surgeries for hydrocephalus.
That's good. I like that. So no more BS. I like that.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you let us know about that so we can publicize it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, I live downtown. I'll come out and take some pictures so we can post them afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
So, Clio, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, what would be the best way?
Facebook, Instagram.
Now on
she
Facebook,
does everything through Instagram.
Facebook is on. Your name is Clio, right?
Yes.
On Facebook. So I had a little trouble finding you to start with. So Clio, and then what is your name on Instagram?
It is Clio Imani Clio Lang, like on my book. or you could look up Clio of Poetry, CLIO_of_poetry. That's the easy way. Or just email ClioPortal@gmail. That works.
So if someone has an opportunity for you to come and do your spoken word, you're open to that, right?
Absolutely.
Yay,
Absolutely.
Yay. So your second book is what?
It's called Screams of Dead Flowers.
Okay, so
that's a powerful title.
It is.
That's powerful.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys think so, because I try to keep the titles of my book alone as a marketing tool.
That's awesome.
The title does not sound like you would be like, what is that? Then it's not going to do anything for me.
Right.
Wow, that's a good lesson for the whole podcast.
That is
what you just said.
Yes. Because I want to be able to turn people's heads like, what does that mean? Because when, someone says, well, what does that mean? They're going to pick up the book and be like, well, let's find out. So
what are screams of dead flowers?
Yeah.
Dead flowers have screams. Yeah. So what is the book about?
It is a creative nonfiction based on my brain surgery recovery and other parallel lessons I've had throughout my whole life on up until this time. And it's also going to be having a lot of my poetry. It was originally a poetry manuscript that I wrote 5 years ago. I hated it. So I ended up, after the surgery, just saying, I need to rewrite this because I want to publish this project. So what I did was I included prologues and chapters in with the poetry so that I can explain myself a little better with the poetry instead of just using blatant metaphors that no one's really familiar with. So it's kind of having a memoir device to it because I am talking through journals that I actually have dated in the past to on up to this time to where I am recovered from my brain surgery. So,
I'm telling you, every time we talk to Clio, I am just more impressed with what she does than
I
I was
know.
before. So Clio, I want you to know, and I want everyone to know, but this Thursday is the Nonfiction Authors Association Houston chapter meeting. And we meet at 7:00 at the Houston Business Lounge in Northwest Houston. And I would love to have you there because because the person that is speaking this Thursday is Alan Bourgeois of the Texas Authors, and he's going to speak on renegade marketing. So be a great opportunity for you to, do even more marketing for your book.
Awesome.
And also for anybody that's interested, we meet at Papado's at 5 or between 5 and 5:30 to eat before the meeting. So Alan will be there. Everybody has a chance to ask him questions and visit with him. So would love to have you be there at 5 if you can make it on Thursday. Okay, good.
Clio, I have a question. Do you plan on publishing your next book, and why did you decide on the manner that you chose?
My next book, I am working on trying to find a book deal for this project because I actually want press and I don't want to just self-publish it. So I think that it'll be better for me with networking to find a publishing house for this next project because it's a very important project for me. It's not only about me, but it's about other brain surgery survivors that I feel like they'll be able to have a blueprint to come to read whenever they feel like no one understands how they feel during recovery. So I'm also just looking really for other help, like other editing help, other marketing help for this book besides just me using Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Valerie Sweeten said to tell you, great work.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much.
So, Kathy Hellweisen said to me once, I love being part of your community because I get to meet such interesting people. And Kathy, today, this is even more true than before because look what an interesting person we have got to talk to today. I'm just so excited that we get to share this, and that I get to share this with Russell and Amy. Every Monday morning, we meet a new person, and we get to know them a little bit. So thank you, Clio, for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Yeah, you rock. Good job.
Russell, any last word from you?
Well, a couple. Next week, we're going to have on Jen Waldo, probably at 10, unless the court moves my hearing.
And tell us how you know her.
I went to even elementary school with her. She's traveled the world. She's
as old as you are then.
Yeah, but much better looking. She had her last book published in Great Britain, and I'm anxious for her to be on. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please make a comment, like us, subscribe. It changes the algorithm and gives us an opportunity to be in front of more people.
Yay. Can't wait till next week. We have a couple more people. Brian Dearden says, great way to start Monday.
We talked about Brian during our radio show.
Yes, we did.
We gave you a shout out, Brian.
I told him. And also I saw that Jamie's on. Jamie of Jamie and Amy, Take Two, is on.
Hi, Jamie.
So, hi, Jamie.
Hey,
we love you, Jamie.
She's awesome.
So Amy, final words from you as you take your last sip of coffee there.
A shot.
Okay.
Yeah. No, if you're not on Instagram or you're not using Bookstagrammers, Russell is, he pretty much summed it up. Probably within 30 minutes, he was more popular on Instagram than Twitter.
I didn't drink that fast.
Okay. Well, why not? You were in Vegas, then you're slacking, Russell. Come on.
Because I'd had to take a nap if I'd have drank that fast.
But if you're not on Instagram to promote your books or anything that you're doing, a business, anything, then you're really missing out on a great opportunity to market. So go out and be adventurous and join Instagram and, use it for yourself and for fun. But no, Clio, I think you're amazing. Your marketing structure is amazing. The way that you're utilizing social media is great. So just keep doing you and keep being awesome. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to check out one of those poetry lounges. My husband would love that. So.
Really awesome. Also have a blog called poetrymetaphysica.wordpress.com. It's on my Instagram as well. All of that's on there. And you guys can check out my poetry and then my interviews that I do of other brain surgery survivors that I put on there as well.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you for saying that. I didn't even realize you had a blog also.
Yes.
So I just want to say we're getting ready to close. So thank you all for watching and joining us. And thank you, Clio, for being with us today. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
I sent an email last night. I just had this wild idea that we don't have a class tonight. So all of you people that are in the courses that we're doing, we don't have one. However, last week, Red said that he just clicked on the link, the Zoom link, just in case somebody was there. And so tonight I'm going to be there. I will be there at 7:00. If you wanted anybody, I sent this out to the people that are in the class, but anybody is welcome to join if you need the link. Amy, will you post the Zoom link in here for our regular meeting? So if you want to join me, it's going to be whoever's there. We'll be discussing the marketing of your book. We're going to talk about just books in general. I'll have a couple of topics if you don't have anything. So join me tonight from 7 to 8 on Zoom as we just share a Monday night talking about our books. So thank you all for being with us today. And it's been a great way to start Monday.